Good afternoon, I'm Susie Nordquist. This is your afternoon news fix for Friday, the 15th of March. Police are reaching out to other countries as part of their homicide investigation into the body found in the ocean this week. The body of a middle-aged Asian woman who's small in stature and about 160 centimetres was found inside plastic bags in Auckland's Gulf Harbour by a fisherman on Tuesday. Police say she was wearing blue pyjama bottoms with a distinct pattern on them and a light-coloured singlet. Acting Detective Inspector Tim Williams says people have already come forward with information and they're currently trawling through large amounts of CCTV footage.
As we were unable to establish the identity of this lady, we have reached out to some partner agencies, including Interpol, in the hope of identifying her.
The principal of one of New Zealand's top schools has slammed New Zealand's education system, saying it's heading towards rock bottom. Auckland Grammar head Tim O'Connor says the profession isn't as valued as it once was. He says that's evident in people not wanting to enter the profession and the fact that schools can't easily access specialist teachers.
We're not doing ourselves any favours by lowering standards within our national qualification framework, and nor are we with the way the curriculum has headed in the last few years.
Air New Zealand's record high domestic airfares are a deal breaker for businesses and individuals. Stats NZ data shows prices have gone up by 7% in February compared to the previous month. The Airport Association is calling on the government to monitor the airline amid the cost of living crisis. Travel Agents Association President Brent Thomas says the price hikes are being felt across the board.
Feedback from corporate customers and for our mums and dads travelling as well, that the domestic pricing is certainly making an impact on their decisions to travel or not travel.
Claims children are sleeping on the floors of Oranga Tamariki offices due to a desperate shortage of emergency foster caregivers. Two independent sources have been quoted by the Otago Daily Times, saying OT offices were being used as overnight accommodation. OT Service Delivery Deputy Chief Executive Rachel Leota has told the Newsroom office stays happen in unexpected circumstances, and finding a suitable placement for impacted children the next day is a matter of urgency. ACT is lodging a bill to end obligations for employers to manage workers' union fees. The Employment Relations Act requires employers to separate union fees from wages and salaries and pay them to the relevant union. Here's political reporter Demelza Jackson.
ACT MP Parmjeet Parmar says it's an administrative burden which tilts the playing field in favour of unions at the expense of business. She says union membership is a private agreement with the worker and the union should be responsible for the administrative process. Parmar says the simple law change will free up time and resources for businesses and is a meaningful step in lifting productivity.
To sport now, and a PGA Tour moment to remember for Ryan Fox after karting a hole-in-one at the Elite Players Championship in Florida at the iconic par 3 17th hole with the island green. World indoor high jump champion Hamish Kerr has withdrawn from this week's National Track and Field Champs in Wellington, opting to rest ahead of the Paris Olympics instead. I'm Susie Nordquist, and that's your latest news fix. We will be back with the next update tomorrow morning from the Newstalk ZB newsroom.